Okay, so we talked about the William Hill walkout in the last part. So the seven of you, I assume the seven of you originally started with winner.com, and you started a bingo advert.
Yeah. So we had an earn out for a period of 6 months, so we couldn't do anything in gaming. And we were a very close knit team, all highly skilled in their own way. And we're sitting there, and all of our expertise is in gambling. Yeah, none of us has got an idea. And we literally said, right, let's all go out and try and find a business and try and find an angle and come back. But we just always came back to the same. We got ourselves a nice little office, and we just sat there just talking every day about gambling. We tried to do something with remote computer fixing, something with pharmaceuticals, and something in America, and we always just came back to the same concept, which is our DNA, which is online gambling. So we spent 6 months having a good time, but doing absolutely nothing. But we were always together. We rented supercars and went car racing. We went on trips. We went to conferences. We met people. We had lunches and dinners, and it was a relaxing time. But we still were itching to get back into the fold. And then when the earnout ended, we got hold of the domain winner.com, which was a great domain. And we believed that we could, do it again. We were all hungry. We were all young. We learned a lot. So we took our marketing expertise. We targeted the UK. And, it was a good success. It was a good domain name. We had a casino product, a sports product, and a bingo product. And you mentioned about the TV advert. So we decided to put the brand on TV, something that we learned a lot of and about through the William Hill days, where we were spending millions with on all of the products. So we decided to shoot a bingo advert. So we went through the pitch process and used a great agency. And I always like to be there for the filming of the adverts. And I'm there in Manchester at 5, 6 in the morning, took the train up. I stayed overnight, took the train up, stayed in the hotel, went to the shoot. I'm in the caravan, enjoying the biscuits and the teas, and speaking to the director and seeing the actors get the makeup on. The director goes, "Listen, how about we stick you in the advert?" What am I going to do? He goes, "Oh, we'll find you a role." Anyway, the costume guy comes in, puts a fake cast on my leg, and goes, "Right, you're going to sit at the bus stop while the woman's dancing. Just look like you're a bit confused," which is very easy for me. And that was it. I had a role in the advert, which is my claim to fame. And the winner bingo did very, very well. I don't know if it's because of my cameo role in the advert that inspired people to play winner bingo. But we took a good domain name that was generating nothing to over $10 million in deposits a month. And it was, again, a really enjoyable time to build a business from scratch and see it succeed and have fun doing it. And I think that's really been an important factor for everything that I've done personally, to be able to enjoy it, whether it be the army or the football or the bar work or speaking to Ruby and other VIP clients and marketing. I enjoy meeting people and I enjoy closing deals and seeing results. But most of all, it's always got to be an enjoyable environment, and that's something that we've always had, always tried to have, and to this day, it's something that I always make sure that my guys are able to know how to enjoy themselves.
Is that where the tie-up with West Ham came in?
Yeah. So I met my now wife when I relocated to London. Actually, my first week, thinking I'm going to live the bachelor life, and my first week, my friend sets me up with my now wife. So I enjoyed my life in a different way that I would have thought, perhaps, living in central London with a driver and everything. But her parents are big West Ham fans. And West Ham were looking for a betting partner. So I said, let's do it. We also, again, we tried to implement the idea of them taking a more active role in driving us users by giving us better positions and stuff like that. and we had the sponsorship of the billboards, the electronic boards. But something that I closed, which was quite clever at the time, that, you know, on minute 45 and on minute 90, it's just us showing. So if there's a minute of injury time or 5 minutes of injury time or whatever. And part of the deal was that we also got a box. And now I'm a Spurs fan. I've got no interest in going to, it was Upton Park back then. I've got no interest in going to Upton Park every week, but my in-laws were obviously over the moon. So they were going every week to the games, sitting in the box. So my in-laws were basically entertaining my clients because I had no interest whatsoever to go to West Ham on a bi-weekly basis. And after the games, my father would call me and go, oh, you know, so-and-so was ever so pleasant. And I didn't realize he was such a big gambler, or apparently this one's an affiliate. And suddenly, you know, I have an accountant father-in-law who knows what an affiliate is or knows what a punter is. And I think the first game we had, West Ham played Liverpool, and I decided to go to the first game just to go with them and show them the box and everything. And Sacco was playing for Liverpool, and he went down with a head injury at the time in the first half, and he was down for ages. And I'm thinking in my head, stay down as long as possible, obviously hoping it's not serious. And he must have stayed down for 7 minutes. You know, we had 7 minutes of LED exposure in the first half. The game was televised live on Sky. And you know, my boss is calling me from Israel, thinking, you know, this is genius. Everyone's like calling me. We can see winner for 7 minutes. You know, it costs a lot of money to buy that type of exposure. So I'm always grateful for Sacco for getting a knock on the head.
No, but fast forward, you started your own agency, MarketBox Media. Now, why did you decide to go on your own?
I suppose as a group, we've been together for near enough a decade, and we've done a lot. We've all grown, you know, we've all seen each other get married and have kids, and evolve as business people and human beings. And just opportunities were always coming about, and just felt like we had something else to try and prove, and to get away and try and do something on my own rather than just be dependent on, you know, it was always good to have someone else to fall back on. And the six of us were great together. But I just wanted to try and do it with myself and one of the other guys who joined me. But they were still a huge part of the success of the agency at the beginning, throwing deals our way, working together on certain deals. But it was just more of a feeling of, you know, I want to try and do something by myself. And, you know, there was no animosity. It was all good. And we're still very close today. But it was just an urge inside me just to try and steer a ship myself, and not just be, you know, one of the six or one of the seven. That just basically, it was just an urge.
Okay, so basically been successful at everything you've done. What's the difference between a good and a bad marketing agency? Obviously, you know what a good one is.
I like to think I know what a good one is. And listen, you're based on results. And something I've always found, there's many ways to skin a cat in marketing. And it's not always what you know, what you knew. There's lots of ways to get from point A to point B. And that's something that we found over the years. The good thing about marketing, especially digital marketing, which was you know, our main area of expertise. Yes, we've done a lot of offline, a lot of TV, radio, sponsorship campaigns, and what have you. But digital, it's very easy to track and to monitor. You know, every click, and I go back to the point that we tried to relay this or bring this into the William Hill joint venture at the time, that you know, every click has a purpose, every impression, every eyeball has a purpose, and there's a way to measure it. Today, for sure, you can measure it, you know, with great sophistication, and target your audience to much greater detail than you could back then. But I think you have to be very open-minded, and understand that if a campaign doesn't work, it doesn't mean that it's never going to work. It could be you need to change the offer, the creative, the position, the size of a banner, the language on the banner, the offer. It could be that the user is going through to where you want him to go through, but doesn't go through to deposit or to play. and then you may have to change what you're showing them on the landing page. The amount of stuff you can do is endless, but you have to be able to have the patience to try everything, because there's no reason why certain things shouldn't work. But you also have to have you have to be able to take your blinkers off and not say that, if I'm a marketing agency, I'm only going to focus on Google PPC. But why not focus on affiliates? Why not focus on native adverts? Why not focus on pop-unders, pop-ups, email campaigns, anything? And I think that's probably what I would say would make the difference between a good and a bad marketing company, agency, or campaign.
Okay, now life is about to become a lot trickier for you guys, by the looks of it. That three of the things that you've mentioned several times have become in sort of dirty words: VIP schemes, affiliates, and online casinos. Now, how are you sort of worried about
that? I'm not worried, for one of the main reasons that I believe in the UK it's extremely difficult to succeed unless you're one of the big brands and you have very, very big budgets. The world is big, the world is huge. There's lots of emerging markets, there's lots of exciting things happening in Latin America, in Asia, in certain countries in Europe where regulations are happening and less strict. Back in the day, we did a lot of things, stuff that you could not do today. You couldn't even utter those words in a conversation today without being tarnished as irresponsible or not putting enough attention to GAM care and what have you. The UK is a very difficult market. I understand why they're taking these steps. The UK is the leading market in the world, in my opinion, and has been for years. And it's leading the way in regulation, again, in my opinion. But when you say they're dirty words, the fact that I can't say those words now, and the fact that you have to be so careful and tread on eggshells, perhaps rightly so. Again, I believe what the Gambling Commission are doing is good, but I think they're going about it the wrong way. And I think, they are maybe being overprotective and not looking at the right people, because gambling is something that's not going to go away. It needs to be correctly regulated and correctly managed. But it's in our tradition, it's in our DNA, and it's been with us for a long time, and it will continue to be with us. And I think you have to make sure you're looking for the right people and targeting the right people when it comes to the regulation. So in my opinion, the UK it's too tough unless you have big budgets or you're one of the big brands.